instant information. People at home are getting a good close-up and they're really right on it. And like we said, at this level, this is the top 30, the Bayleys shear off, the Bayleys top 30 shootout, and the top prize to take us through is about $4,000 and a trip to the beautiful country of France. Vive la France. Down the last side is Michael Fabish throwing everything at it. He wants to make that cut to the next 12.
Exactly, Michael. Very good senior shearer about 10 years ago, and I think took a bit of a break or some time off to get things like the farm in order and all that sort of thing, and he's now started to get back into a few more competitions, particularly in the last 2 seasons.
The belly goes out of there for David Buick. This is Wairarapa's man, and I believe this guy is probably second in command at the moment. There's 3 very good shearers in the North Island, Roland Smith, John Kirkpatrick, and then we better slot this man in at 3rd place. Well, he's doing well enough. He's made some big finals, and has he got the physique to do it? Well, I believe he has, because he is just so focused. Down the last side comes David Buick. Look at the shots there. The armchair people at home have got the best seats in the house as we go down the last side, and look at the way that sheep is absolutely polished, Doug.
Exactly, that's David Buick. Once he clocks it all together at the same time, he's very tough to beat. So if he can clock it right through in these 8 sheep, he will be fairly near to the top of the qualifying order tonight.
Oh, well, we go down to the young guy, Turi here, Edmonds from Raitihi. Down the last side he goes, and there's a camera going on him at the moment. Young guy, I'm not quite sure if he's made the top 30 before, Doug.
I think he could be right. I think this could be his first time.
What a thrill for this young man, and into the belly he goes. So him and David Buick are the only shearers. Oh no, somebody must be Michael Fabish has picked up sheep number 6 as well. Well, into the belly. Look at that beautiful animal. What a beautiful job these boys are doing, and look at this. The sheep, the care that's taken to remove the fleece off that sheep is absolutely forefront of the shearers. The committee here are all about animal welfare, looking after these beautiful animals. Then into Undermine. Back to Casey Bailey. Undermine comes up for Casey Bailey. He's going underneath there. Sheep number 6 on the board for Casey Bailey. 2 more in the pen, Doug.
Okay, who's your bet and who's going to come off first there, Koro?
Well, we're just going to have a look at it. We might take a wide shot. We'll go back and see how the top 6 shearers are going. Here they are. This is the quality points going at the moment, and it looks like it is Casey Bailey with the quality at the moment.
Yep, shearing right up to the mark. Casey, the boy from Riverton, he was based around the Wairarapa for a while, so he has a good idea of what sheep are like in this part of the country.
Down the last side these boys go, and I think Tamania might have passed him, and he said, "Dee-dee, goodbye, man." Down the last side, and Tamania's wound up. He's really fired up now. Into the pen he goes, and this is a beautiful wide shot. We know where everybody's... Look at that, David Buick. He's half a sheep ahead of anybody else.
And then Casey Bailey and Michael Fabish into the pens.
They're going in the pens, but down the last side is David Buick, and the quality points are starting to stick with David Buick. 26.9, and he's really out on his own. 1 more sheep in the pen, folks, and he's gone sheep number 8. That one wasn't a very cooperative sheep, Doug.
Yeah, you've always got to have one, and that's the one thing that David has to worry about is one sheep can do quite a bit of damage to your chances.
Look at the graphics that are coming up. We're living in the robot age. The Undermine, we don't really want a robot to do that, but under the Undermine there, Buick has got the gear just humming along nicely. These sheep from White Spur, round the side of the ear he goes. He's working his way onto the long blow. 29.7 at the moment is his total quality points. And David Buick, the Wairarapa man, is really starting to put a little bit of this distance into them. Turi Edmonds is just going in for sheep number 8, and this guy, David Buick, is coming down the last side. Fabish goes in, Bailey goes in, Undermine time for Tamaninia. Tamaninia would be second in command, but at the moment, Doug, it's all David Buick.
Yeah, and there he goes. Fastest time, he was only about 12 or 13 seconds, I think, off the pace during the heats earlier in the day, despite the fact that he was actually 12th qualifier.
He was 12th qualifier. Well, he's had a good year, and he'd be wanting to make that next 12, because it's a big cut from 30 down to 12.
Oh, exactly.
It's cruel.
Exactly, and some people say this is the toughest shear of your life.
Toughest year. Getting out of the top 30 is the hardest one. And my mate Phil O'Shaughnessy has always said that too. That's the hardest one. We turn to the last side. To here, he's starting to get a bit high in his numbers. Bayleys getting a little bit high. They're all started to hit the 33. We'll take a little bit of a look at the overall picture. But down the last side, the young man from Riverton, Waiponamu, the South Island boys just about ready to flick off now. The quarterfinals, heat number 1, folks, out there, and we're coming to a close, and it looks like it's all over. If we can get the wide shot, we'll see where we are at. Wonderful. And then we'll just go back to the boys in the stadium, and they'll call on the next one. But at this stage, David Buick, he's pulled up at 31.9. I think Tamania might be on 31.
Tama's on 34.
34.
Yep.
So 32, David Buick, 32.446. And you folks don't understand it, the lower the total points on the right-hand side of your TV screen, that's the one that you see. So if you've got a little bit of a pad at home, write it down. And David Buick sure well, didn't he?
Exactly, no, I think he's on the way there.
Who was the closest to him?
Yeah, good question. I think Casey might have pulled back a little bit there at the finish.
Somebody's on 35.
Yeah. Is Tamania 35? Yeah, here we are.
Oh, he's way out on his own. He's in the zone, that man. The closest man to him is Sam Welsh, 35.323. So there you go. That's the first one, and that's always the hard one, Doug, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard one. They don't know where everybody else is going to be, so they've really got to just get out there and do their very best, which I guess it goes with the territory, of course, but no, she is hard getting out in that first heat.
We'll go back to the stadium to the boys that are bringing on the next heat.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's give these guys a hand as they come up. Let's really pump them up. Let's get the blood going. On stand number 6, he is from Australia, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind if you don't clap too much. Jason Wingfield.
Go, Jace. Stand number 1, ladies and gentlemen. He needs no introduction to Shearing sports fan. The man himself, Roland Smith.
On stand number 5, from Pleasant Point and through, ladies and gentlemen.
On stand 2, folks, from the deep south, Leon Samuels.
And another South Islander boy from Matota, Brett Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. He is an up-and-coming peeler.
Go the south. And on stand number 3, folks, the current world individual shearing champion, Johnny Kirkpatrick. So what a lineup again, Tuma. Like we said, the world's best shearers are here today. They can set up their gear and get ready. And like John said, athletes, every single one of them. Not an ounce of fat along their board. They're just highly tuned athletes.
Of course, they've seen the event previous, the first heat. They know how the sheep are performing. A very experienced eye. They won't even need to go into their pens. They should be able to just look over the top and say, I want the big ones first or the small ones first. So they'll just get anyone that comes to the door. They are well-prepared sheep, thanks to the crutches, the truckies, the people out the back. And, of course, when we cut all this wool off, it goes out the back into the backyard, and they press it all up and send it all home to the farmer. No glitz and glamour out in the pressing arena. There's male and female pressers out there working tirelessly at least 3/4 to an hour after the shearing is completed here today. So there's a lot of wool to be pressed here with 3,500 sheep to be shorn. We have a green light, gentlemen. Could we have you on the board, please? Entertainment's our game. And we have Jason Wingfield, one of our honoured shearers from Australia. He's been here once or twice. He just happened to leave his old mate Shannon Warnest, the big boss, home after 10 years straight. Jason's a very experienced international athlete. Sure very well in the rounds to get this far. Okay, come on. We'll be having you. Brent, please. All right, Phil, thumbs up. Okay. Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this one underway. Timekeepers right, judges, competitors, go. Roll.
Back to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, for heat number 2, the Bayleys top 30 shootout. And onto the belly is Roland Smith. He's the guy that's the current man. He's just out on his own. He's in another zone, Doug. He's all actually arms and legs, and he moves around that sheet. It's almost like poetry in motion, this guy. Look at him, he works away, and he's right up, and he gets right, he puts his nose there. He's under the pump, and he wins it. Onto the long blow, Roland Smith. We've got the time there at 27 seconds there. Onto the long blow. Is he going to go under a minute?
He is at this stage. He's down on the face and down on the shoulder.
He's going to go under a minute. 39 seconds is ticked by, folks out there. And Roland Smith is just motoring along. He's going to be the burning man tonight, and we'll love to see him go into the next level too, Doug.
Exactly. This is where you
52 seconds.
Exactly. Well, look at that.
52 seconds.
Yeah. So here's the man. You can't ignore the fact that you are up against this guy. I mean, last 2 years since he scored his 100th win, he's had just about 50 wins since then in 2 years. He's sitting on 11 on the trot just in the last 6 or 7 weeks or so. He's right on to continue that form at the moment. Just look at that.
Great. I was at Wairarapa, his first show for the new year, and he won that convincingly as well. He's been winning so strongly. Leon Samuels is just a little bit off the cut at the moment, but that sheep's just potted out nicely. Here he goes. The clock has gone into the dark. 1 minute and 32 seconds, and I would say Roland Smith will be looking for sheep number 3. But up the neck at the moment on the screen is the guy from Invercargill, who he's just motoring. Look at that guy on the left-hand side. Johnny Kirkpatrick's not too far away.
Well, exactly. Johnny's out gunning for this. He's got to get those World Championships again, and it'll be absolutely desperate for him. Interesting seeing Leon Samuels there, one of 3 South Islanders in this particular heat. 3 South Islanders, 1 Australian, and just 2 North Islanders. I'm not sure when you would have seen that in a gold
Maui. Down the belly, and into that is Brett Roberts. Brett Roberts is right behind this guy, Roland Smith. Into the belly goes Brett Roberts. Johnny Kirkpatrick, but this guy is powerful, isn't he?
Exactly. Brett just won the Otago Shears a couple of 2 to 3 weeks ago in Balclutha. Won at Lumsden, Northern Southern Community Shears a few weeks ago, back in January. He's one of those guys, another one of those guys, a very good, prolific senior shearer, taking that 4 or 5 years to get cracking, get up to speed with these top guys in the Open. He's actually competed here now since the age of 13, and yeah, he's won a couple of titles, a junior and a senior.
So he doesn't have blood running through his veins, he's got grease running through his veins, hasn't he? He's really, I was going to say that SHIT sheep, but we better not say it over national TV. But that's what it is. He eats and drinks, and he loves this game. It's a beautiful game for this guy, and it makes his work life back in the shearing shed fun too, because it's only if you're working out in here you can do this. It's a sport for you as well.
Exactly. One of the big things about this sport is that as grubby and everything else as it may look to everybody else, but I don't know anybody who works in it who doesn't absolutely love it.
You get to feel it, you love it. And through Pleasant Point in the South Island, I'm sure there'll be some South Islanders watching this at the moment, because we're into the first ear there on sheep number 4, and this guy, I tell you what, he can make it. He can go all the way this end through.
Yes, he got through to the semi-final 2-3 years ago, I think. Very good share in that particular year. Does pretty well in the shows in South Island. Has now won 3 or 4.
Down the last side is and through, and look at his quality points are pretty good at the moment. We're only halfway through, and he's only lost 2 second cuts. Here he goes, the Australian in the crew, Australian contractor, Jason Winfield coming down the last side. 4 minutes and 8 seconds, and he's just not a bad time for an Australian. He's going pretty good. Well, we'll test these guys again tomorrow night, Doug. But into the last side. Here he goes, just finishing off 1 or 2 touches. Out she goes, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. In for sheep number 5 for Jason Wingfield. Look at the shots there.
Indeed. Jason, as I said, a well-served Australian international here in the Trans-Tasman tests. She's a lot there in Victoria. She's one of the few of these crossies now. So he's got a little bit of a chance of getting there. He's just a little nagging a bit behind on the points at the moment. And of course, we can see that Johnny Kirkpatrick really is taking it away at the moment.
He certainly is, and that's the beauty of the screens. You can see where everybody is sitting at the moment. The quality side of it, Roland's on 18.1. Johnny Kirkpatrick, he's sitting there at, oh no, it's changing, it's seesawing. And Frew is actually the guy that's probably the one that's doing the business at the moment, Doug.
Yeah, but you did right, it is changing rapidly.
Well, that's the beauty of a computer. The computer keeps thinking for you. Even while we're sleeping, a computer keeps working. Down the last side is Johnny Kirkpatrick. Sheep number 5 on the board. 2 more in the pen, Johnny Kirkpatrick. But the young boy, Brett Roberts, says, I've come here to rumble in the jungle, Kirky. Into the belly goes Brett Roberts. Into the belly is John Kirkpatrick. These two there, blow for blow. Brett Roberts is there. Look at this, the beautiful wide shot and into the undermine. Brett Roberts, he ain't going to lie down, this young boy. Up the neck he goes. I'm sure his koro at home will be loving all of this, Doug.
Oh, certainly wouldn't he? Koro was a quarterfinalist himself many years ago, back in about 1980 when there was 24 went through to the quarterfinals.
Wow, there he goes. Long blow time, and Antfrew is the one that's got the game on at the moment. He's got his game face on. Johnny Kirkpatrick, look at this. Look at the points with Antfrew at the moment. Beautiful, 21.7. He's the guy that's going to, if nothing goes wrong, he's going to go into the next level too. I reckon, Doug, he's going to make it.
Indeed, this will be an incredible performance if he does. I think last time when he made the semi-final, he said one thing he has to do is to get up here to the North Island and shear a few more sheep, but I'm not sure that he's done that.
He doesn't have to. The sheep are better shearing in the South Island, he's probably saying. Roland Smith is just ticking up a little bit of time, but we'll see. I'm sure the time is clicking by. 24. Look at the neat way these points are working immediately, aren't they, Doug?
Yep, exactly. You can see them up on the right. There we've got the total points. As you see that on the left, the sheep, we've got all 6 shearers. They've got number 7 on the board right at this point. On the
6 minutes and 56 seconds, and we're on to 7 minutes. Is just ticked by. We're halfway through sheep number 7. And through, is he going to keep up to this? Roland Smith on stand number 1. We'll soon see with a wide shot as Antfrew comes down the last side. Brett Roberts is really throwing the kitchen sink at it at the moment. Johnny Kirkpatrick's throwing everything at it at the moment as well. But Antfrew, cool, calm, and he's just saying, I've got this one. Sheep number 8 on stand number 1 for Roland Smith, as you can see on the screen. Into the pen goes through for sheep number 8. Here we go. Down the last side is Jason Winfield. Johnny Kirkpatrick into the belly. Ooh, Brett Roberts into the belly, but it is Antfrew. Let's go a bit to a wide shot, guys, and see where Johnny Kirkpatrick and this man on stand number 1, Roland Smith, sit. Down the last side is Roland Smith is on sheep number 8. The time is 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Look at the big beanstalk. He's just having he's out on his own, Doug.
Yep, and there you go. Look at that.
Amazing. Leon Samuels has come back into the game. He is sitting second in command. Down the last side is Leon Samuels. Brett Roberts chasing him. Antfrew getting burnt off at the moment, Doug.
And here's a good battle on 3 and 4, and it looks like Johnny K might just get it from Brett Roberts. Where do we go here?
Brett Roberts, Johnny Kirkpatrick, bang,
look at that.
Dead heat.
Bit poetry in motion there, eh?
Dead heat. There he goes. Antfrew pulls up there. Good points too. Good points for Antfrew. So down the last side is Jason Wingfield. No disgrace.
None at all.
No disgrace. Wonderful. And what did we say the time was for Roland?
Didn't quite catch that, no.
I don't even think it was 8 minutes.
No, it was certainly under 8 minutes.
It was under 8 minutes. So that's the level. If you really want to get involved here and you're serious about this, this is what's required. The real intellect that goes into it, the pressure, the mind games is fantastic. So there you go, folks. Roland Smith, Leon Samuels, John Kirkpatrick, Brett Roberts, and Frew, and Jason Wingfield, the Bayleys Open Top 30. We'll go back to the stadium.
How about these girls in blue, Tuma, and those guys down there in the black shirts? Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, our resident wool handlers and wool marshals. Thank you, guys and girls, very much. Big job. And the guys with their backs to us and the pens, they got a bit of sweat dripping between their shoulder blades too. Give them a big hand, folks. Hard working boys and girls up there. So heat 3, Tuma. We got the names up there. Well, I guess we won't muck around. Let's get them up. These people want to see some shearing.
Okay, we're just going to wait for our wool stewards to clear the way for our shearers. Our shearers are keen to go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you remember rightly, in the last heat, I think David Buick was 32 was his total points when it went yellow. So you can sort of paint your own picture about what's going on up there. So you got Roland Smith, he's 29.9, so that puts him at the top. Okay, and then you've got Johnny Kirkpatrick, he's 32.3. I think David Buick was around the same. So I think if you're going to go over 30, what do you reckon, 35, Norm?
I think you'll be struggling over 35, Tuma.
Okay, so we've got our names up on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on another heat of these soldiers, these warriors. On stand number 6, from Halcombe, Murray Henderson, ladies and gentlemen.
He's your man on stand number 1, Masterton. Give him a big hand, Dylan McGruddy.
On stand number 5, from Tikawiti, Jack Fagan, ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Attack.
From Whangamomana and Taranaki, ladies and gentlemen, the Scotsman, Gavin Much. Too much.
On stand number 4, from Whitehall, Bart Hadfield, ladies and gentlemen.
And another one of your local fellas, ladies and gentlemen, stick your hands together for this man on stand 3, Martini Mason. Best of luck, guys. Go for it. Tuma. Another fine heat of top contenders. Very interesting the way it's all unfolding, but these guys are going to get stuck into it just like the rest of the heats, and we've still got 2 to go yet.
Keep an eye on Martini Mason, ladies and gentlemen.
And back to Big John McBride and Kerry Irvine, our commentators up there on the box. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, team. We've seen 2 good heats so far. There's no reason why this one won't live up to the expectations. A miniature sheep is more than possible. We got the Flying Scotsman up on the 2 stand. The youngster, Martini Mason. Billy McGrady, popular Masterton lad. Big Bad Bart Hadfield down there on 4. Jack Fagan, the youngster from Tikawiti, and the more experienced Murray Henderson down the far end. So I reckon they've had long enough. We'd like to welcome all those shearers back to the board. I know one of them will ask the question of Mr. Morrison. Shearers on the board. You don't want to annoy the farmer by having one of his woolly sheep tipped out down the chute without the fluff taken off it. They've done very well, White Spur, to get him to this stage.
Fantastic line of sheep, John, aren't they? Don McRae and the team out there, White Spurs, a real credit to them.
Okay, looks like we're good for a go. Come on, Bart, you don't want to get your toasted on. Okay, thumbs are up, green lights on. Timekeepers right, judges, competitors, go!
We're back into it, Doug, and this is the top 30 Bayleys shootout. The top 30 guys, we had 71 shearers come through, and now we're back to the top 30. These are the guys that have really gone out, trained, been everywhere. The diets, the food intake, it's all really got to be great. You can't come here with a B plan. It's all A game, triple A game. And onto the first shoulder is the young Masterton boy, Dylan McGruddy. This might just about be Dylan McGruddy's first quarterfinals, Doug.
Yep, pretty sure it is. He came up as a young fellow in his late teens there, so still only in his early 20s. He's won in New Zealand, Australia, and I think in the UK from memory.
He's done that. Oh, look at him, he's shearing beautifully as well. This is a young guy that's focused on the job, and down the last side he goes. Well, we've already had some times set, and it looks like Roland Smith, the last one is 29.9. He's pulled up in that, and he's a clear 2-3 points of anybody else as well. Gavin Much on stand number 2, Doug.
Yeah, well, Gavin's the man that's going to set the pace here. He was the fastest of the shearers in today's heat, 6 minutes 44 for the 6 sheep. We'll see how he goes here. He was really looking like the man at the moment, and if he can keep it all together, he's a real threat.
Round behind here is Gavin Much, the man from Wongamomina. He's been living there for a little while, but his heart lies in Aberdeen and Scotland, and I think he's made the Scottish team. So here he is, he's really footing it. He's won the world champs before, hasn't he, Doug?
Exactly, won the world title here in Masterton in 2012. I was going to say 1912, that would have been a pretty good effort. And he, of course, won the Golden Shears Open here in 2015, the only overseas shearer to ever win the Golden Shears Open title. But of course, he's been working and living in New Zealand for most of the last 20 years.
Oh, we won't make any excuses for him, Doug. He's really tried hard, and that's the way. If you want to compete with the Kiwi, with the Aotearoa people, come here and live with us.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the Republic, as they say up in Whangamomina. We won't hold that against them at all.
The Republic of Wongamomina. Here he goes. I heard the boys on the stage say, watch out for this young guy, Martin M. Mason. The belly time comes up for him, this Martin M. Mason, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and sheep number 3 on the board. Martin is not too far away from Gavin Much, and he is the biggest boy with the biggest arms. Use the damn things, Martin, there. Use those big brick arms as he goes up and round behind the ear. He's won the seniors this time.
Exactly, won the senior title here. Another one of those guys, and sort of, I guess, wouldn't say relaxed, but nevertheless taken the years like everybody does. Even the best senior shearer takes 4 or 5 years to get up to the standard in the open grade.
Well, he loves his tāmoko, and there he goes. He's got his whakapapa written all over his arms, and he's going to look at that. Every time he runs out of energy, he needs a little bit more guts. He looks at his tattoos, and he gives him a bit more of a spurt of energy. But down the last side, Doug, look at this guy. He's working away 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and he's looking for sheep number 4.
Yeah, pretty comfortable looking board points there at the moment as well.
Looking good. He's shearing well, and he's absolutely polishing them. Look at the way it goes out. Run, Martin, there, run. Who's this man? And there he is, Bart Hatfield, the Bart man. A record holder in his time too, Doug.
Yeah, exactly. Bart there from Ruatakuri, which is up there north of, Ruakaturi, up north of Wairoa, on the road between Wairoa and Gisborne. Of course, it's his son Atawhai who's in the junior final tomorrow.
Wow, this is the family that won the Ahu Whenua Trophy as well. So these people know how to farm, they know how to shear sheep, and he's got another notch in his belt. He's going as a judge to the World Champs, Doug.
Indeed, yes. It's amazing that we see this sort of combination. It just shows that these guys are basically a shearer never stops shearing. I think that's the way, isn't it? Except you?
Well, yeah, you and I. Well, somebody has to tell people what's going on out in the world. So down the last side is this man from Ruakaturi, Bart Hatfield, the Wairoa man. Let's hope that Nuku here is probably watching, or unless she's in the stadium, but that man, she should be running up to the stage and yelling out, "Go, Bart!" What do you reckon, Doug?
Yeah, look, exactly, there he is. He's back on the board. Right next to him, we've got Jack Fagan coming up, I think, shortly. Yeah, so there's Jack, son of Sir David Fagan, of course. Yeah, Paul changes the steel. He's won the Welsh Open, I think it was. He won the Welsh Open, and he's won a couple of titles now in New Zealand.
Well, he's changed the handpiece. He's looking for the fresh cut. He's got the new steel on, and he's into the belly. Jack Fagan is now working away. Oh, look at that. He's just fired up into the undermine and up the neck goes young Jack. He's the man that I seen playing AC/DC and he loves it, and I think his number plate on his car is AC/DC. The first shoulder comes up and Jack Fagan, Nouvelle Zelande. That's what it is on his trout. Here he goes. I think that's a French word too, isn't it, Doug?
Nouvelle? Indeed.
Nouvelle Zelande.
Yeah, he loves shearing in France, does our Jack. So he's shorn over there a fair bit and knows the French style, and he'll be over there, of course. Well, who knows, he may be competing in the World Champs yet.
Well,
he'll pull out an extra shot here or two.
Good on him, and he's really picked it up. The change of handpiece has done Jack Fagan well, 5 minutes and 30, and he'll be looking for sheep number 6 as he goes and pops the one out, grab another one. Ooh, he just goes and he would have ripped the door off his hinges if it wasn't locked on there, Doug.
Exactly, yeah, his forte in the recent times has really been the speed shear. Of course, he won that big speed shear during the World Championships in 2017. It wasn't a World Championship event as such, but nevertheless it was during the big event.
It was, and we're calling this pushing medal, ladies and gentlemen. There's Murray Henderson. Murray, I believe, made the Golden Shears Open final a couple of times. This guy may not have the speed on his side, but he's got the quality to boot. Up the neck goes Murray Henderson, around behind he is. 6 minutes and 10 seconds, and he's on sheep number 6. He's going good for time, Doug.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Murray deserves everything he can get out of this. He's been an open class shearer for more than 20 years. He won at Waimate a couple of years ago, which was his first win for about 18 or 19 years, I think, from memory. As you say, he's been an open finalist here a couple of times, and he's thereabouts all of the time. He's based in the Manawatu there, contracting. He runs the shearing competition at a Manawatu show at Fielding there, so he's right into the game from every aspect.
Every aspect, and down the last side. Oh, that one wants to do a little bit of tap dancing on it, and he's got to get control. This is what it's all about, folks, out there. These sheep are wild animals. They are really fired up, and you have to have total control, and that's the skill that the shearer brings to the shearing board, settling that animal down, just putting it across. If you're uptight, the sheep will get uptight. So Martin M. Mason, back to Martin M. Mason. Sheep number 7 on the board for Martin M. Mason. He's going good though.
Yeah, but look at that, Gavin, much there on sheep number 8. He's got more than the sheep around a couple of fellas here.
He's not already on sheep number 8. He is too. The time is, look, 7 minutes and 26 seconds, and Gavin Much, the man from Whangamomana, the Republic of Whangamomana. Down the last side he goes, 7 minutes and 35. He's going to go under 8 minutes though.
Exactly. Just a pip over 740, eh? Well, maybe a little trouble there on the last leg.
There he goes, folks. 29.7 he's pulled up, and that's going to have a little bit of a nudge for Roland Smith, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. I think at the moment we've got Rolly.
Oh, he's changed to 30.
Yeah, and we've got Andrew, I notice, is I think sitting up well up there as well. And of course Johnny Kirkpatrick.
So down the last side is young Martin M. Mason, but you'd like to say he's got another sheep. How the hang did that guy put a whole sheep around these other guys?
That's Gavin. Here's a good one, which we didn't capture on the screen here at the time.
He's given them a good lesson.
Exactly.
He's really giving these Kiwis a bit of a good lesson. And you know what, he's very quiet about it and very humble, isn't he?
Well, exactly, and he works away quietly away in the Taranaki, and as we know, Whangamomana is not the sort of easiest suburb in the city to get to.
So he lets his handpiece do the talking, and it certainly has, because he's rumbled in the jungle, and that sheep went out time of under 8 minutes. And look at us, we're already just about 9 minutes, and Bart Hatfield, Martin M. Mason are flying along the long blows. Is it going to be the young or is it the young and restless, or the old and wise? Here he goes, Bart Hatfield getting ready to turn to the last side. He doesn't matter where he comes, he's lucky he's made that top 30, Doug.
Indeed, yeah, probably with those points, this is probably the last that we'll see of Bart tonight, of course, apart from getting back up on the board and judging.
Well, it's mission control, ladies and gentlemen. The computers are working, the cameras are working here at the 2019 Golden Shears Bayleys Top 30 Shootout. We'll now go back to the stadium, and now boys down on the stage will bring up the 4th event.
I bet Bart's got a description for that one. She should be on the Barbie. Oh, we're lacking noodles now. Got no noodles.
What a great band, Tom. I'm not sure about the name, but great band.
There's nothing wrong with Noodles as the name of a band.
So once again, folks, a great big hand to all our sponsors out here. Huge input you guys have had into making this competition, the 59th Golden Shears, a great success. Thank you guys very, very much. And of course, Tom, next year, the 60th anniversary of the Golden Shears. That's going to be something very, very special, we're told, and we're going to hold you guys to that.
Well, you know us here at the Golden Shears, we're innovators, not imitators. So we'll have something, a little something for you, Norm. Don't worry about that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring up our next heat. This is heat number 4. And I see we have another local in there, and he's really going to light the place up. But on stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen, from Alexandra, Stacey Tehuya.
On stand number 1, ladies and gentlemen, your very own Masterton man, Wairarapa Abraham.
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, from Amberley, Troy Piper.
So part to yours, man, and these next 2 guys are mine, ladies and gentlemen, from the deep south, Ringakaha Pawai. He was born and bred in the south, in the North Island, but he's made the top 30. We've claimed him now, Toma.
On stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of last year's TUI event from Taihape, Axel Reid.
And another man from the deep south, Nathan Stratford, on stand number 3, folks, from Invercargill.
The Iceman. He looks very focused, Norm.
Always a focused man, as all these guys are. They're real competitors, real athletes, folks, and they're very, very good at what they do. Cheers, Toma. We're off again. Let's get these guys going. Back to Big John McBride and Kerry Irvine, our man in the box up there.
Green light once again, gentlemen, so you know the pressure's on. A little bit of chance to chuck a bit of oil in your handpiece and to make sure they're going to rotate. And then we'll be straight in with the hard work. Expecting to see under a minute a sheep from some of these shearers. Just goes to show you the quality of the big guns we have up on stage and the quality of the sheep. Bayleys Real Estate, Golden Shears, Open Top 30 Shearers, heat number 4. There, one man's happy, they're all happy. I like that. Stacey Tehuya says I like my lot. We'll have you out of the pens, please. Shearers to the ball. We can't judge you while you're still in behind the door with the woolly sheep. Just waiting on referee Mr. Morrison. Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Kick that shearer out of there. I like that. He'll try you. Oh. You may see a sheep released down the porthole, ladies and gentlemen, with his fluff still on. But the shearer has no control over what sheep comes in. So sometimes it's better to know the dog in the pen than the dog you don't. It's only one man's opinion. Okay, looks like we got the... Oh, it's a disease, it's catching. The crowd are getting restless. I can sense it. We need them on the shearing board. Never yet has I seen the crowd start to chant, "We want the shearers, we want the shearers." Anything's possible here in Masterton. Looks like Mr. Morrison's coming out of the pen. making sure that everybody's got the right amount of sheep, 8 sheep. Okay, we're ready to go. Thank you, Pies. Green light, ladies and gentlemen. Timekeepers are right. Judges, competitors, go. Ooh, right for the word go. Big Stace to Hooya.
Golden Shears 2019, the Bayleys top 30 shootout. And we have on stand number 1, the boy from Wairarapa man, Wairarapa Abraham, as he flies into the undermine. He's made a Golden Shears final before, and I talked to him a little earlier today, and I said to him, Wairarapa, you're capable of going to France. So that's what we put on him, and he's made this final, and he blew the socks off them one that night, didn't he, Doug?
Exactly, under 16 minutes, I think, from memory. One of the fastest times in the Golden Shears Open final history. This is one crack at it so far. Better known at the moment for his performances again was in the speed years. Himself and Jack Fagan often fighting out the finishes in those events.
Well, we've got this one now, and the time is going to be clicking away, and I think this might be the quickest time. Roland Smith put the first one out in 52 seconds. Here he goes, Wairarapa pops that sheep out, and he goes in for sheep number 2. Pulls the sheep out, and he sits it down quietly and nicely on its bum, and he goes into the belly. Here we go. From Tamaki Nui Arua, Danny Burke, it's Ringakaha Paiwai. Into the belly he goes, and he's flying along. He knows where Wairarapa sitting, 1 minute and 12 seconds, folks. And into the undermine is Ringakaha. Into the undermine and throwing that up there. Throwing steel around, and up the neck he goes. Here is all this. He's on fire, this young man. Round behind the ear, the sheep just needs to sit still. Currently living in the South Island to Waipunam and Gore, but there he goes onto the first shoulder. Well, this is it, Ringer. If you can hear us, there's no more. This is where it's at. Put the hammer down and just peel, my boy. Turns to the last side. Look at the beautiful shots coming down there in the way. His shearing equipment is just humming along, Doug.
Exactly, one of 3 South Island-based shearers in this particular heat, along with Nathan Stratford and Troy Piper, all from down there in Southland. Ringer, if he manages to get through to the final, he will have shorn in the final of all 4 grades.
Exactly. From
From junior up to Open Class Series 1, 2 titles along the way some years ago.
Oh, look, how's that? That's why Doug Lang's sitting here, folks. He's a man that's got the stats, and up the neck and having a little bit of a dance with the wolves is Nathan Stratford, another man from Wairarapa in Invercargill in the South Island. Round behind the current team member, he's going up against the Australians tomorrow night. That sheep looks a little bit unsettled, Doug.
Yeah, not too bad. He's got it under control now, I think. But as we know, Nathan's real strong point is his quality, the best board job during the heats today. And yes, he has got a bit of trouble there.
She doesn't like it. She's not happy. She's unsettled, but he'll have to sit it down. He's not a very big man, but he's a very tough man. Down the last side he goes, and he's pouring it on. 3 minutes and 2 seconds. The time is still right. And at the bottom of the screen, you've got to have those dials living in the red, because if it goes into the green, you're really on the wrong side of the equator. You've got to be in the red zone, and a lot of his clocks aren't. Into the belly goes this Nathan Stratford, and he's firing on. The only one, Ringakaha's the only one without sheep number 2 on the board, and this man from Wairarapa in Invercargill, where the world champs were held a couple of years ago, Dave.
Exactly, and they absolutely loved it when Nathan Stratford managed to pull off that team's win with Johnny Kirkpatrick.
Here he is, Axel Reid, the man from Taihape. Round behind the ear he goes, all flying along. This is a young guy that's normally takes out the TUI invitation in the past.
Well, he won it last year. He did say it's the only thing he's ever won, actually, when I was talking to him after the event. He hasn't won an Open title at all yet, but he's quite capable of being up there in at least the semi-final. He's contracting himself now up in the around Taihape. Pretty tough shearing up around that neck of the woods.
Now he goes to the last side. We often talk about a shearing comb having 13 teeth on it, but really there's 14. The left hand becomes the other tooth. I think he might have just got a bit of a nick on his hand at the moment, but that won't slow him down. Into the belly, he's flying along. He's pulled out an absolute flyer. It's a beauty. Let's see how he goes. Who we got there? Troy Piper, the Piper man. Follow me, he goes. Round behind here he goes. Another man from Ambley. Where's Ambley?
Ambley's down in Canterbury. He's been cheering up.
Cheviot, round that area.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, originally from down in South, and he's just been cheering up in Canterbury the last few months. So we know he's been to the Golden Shears Open final too in 2015. I think was the first time. He earlier this year managed to win a few finals in a row, including 2 in Australia, just during a quick jump across the ditch there.
Well, he's really trying and he's made it, and speaking to him a little earlier on, he's focused, he's pumped, he's fired up, he's really given it everything. Out he goes, and then he goes for sheep number 6 on the board, and the time is just on 5 minutes. He's going good, Doug. The belly time for the Piper man. In the belly he goes, he pops that one now. And look at this big, strong Maori boy.
Yeah, there's Stacey Tahuya, world record breaker, both sides of the Tasman, as we said. Marvellous record a couple of years back, around Dubbo there somewhere, I think, from memory, the Merino one. And he still holds that single stand record for, can't remember, 8 or 9 hours, I can't remember which it was at the time, but nevertheless it was they reckon one of the greatest tally days in Australian shearing.
Look at this guy, everything is in rhythm. He's got the rhythm and blues, this boy, big, whoa, big undermines, and he's on to the long blow. Stacey Tahuya, based in Alexandra, I see now, getting ready to turn to the last side. He would have to have the biggest arms in the business too, Doug.
Exactly, he's done a bit of shearing around the Wairarapa here too, so he knows these sorts of sheep. He's done one of his record attempts too in the Wairarapa.
I remember that. But down the last side he's going, Stacey Tahuya. He would be the first one in. Pairata's on the charge. He's the first one in for sheep number 7. Number 7 on stand number 5. Number 7 on stand number 6. They're going. Hammers and tongs into the underminers. Is this guy on stand number 5, the Piper man. Stacey, you better lift your game, because these guys on stands 1 and 5 are really taking the game to you. Round behind there is Troy Piper working hard. The time is only 6 minutes and 50 seconds. They've backed off a bit, Doug.
Exactly. No, they're going to go over 8 minutes in this particular heat.
They've gone backwards. Yes, they've backed off. That's how quick that Gavin Much was going. So they just need to just start a little bit harder and go hard. We're going along the boards towards the left-hand side. We're giving the screenshots. Nathan Stratford on the last side, turns to the last side. Ringa Kahapaiwai turns to the last side as well. Here he goes, Pairata Abram, the Pie man. He's really out on his own. He's in the zone, but like you say, they've really slowed down, haven't they?
Well, there we've got number 8 on the board on both stands, 5 and 6. That's Stacey Tahuya and Troy Piper. So look at this.
There's a bit of a seesawing action going on. Pairata Abram was out there on his own, but now he's been pipped. The boys down on stands 5 and 6. Here we go. We got the wide shot, folks. Here we go, and onto the first shoulder. Troy Piper, the Piper man, onto the long blow. Stacey Tahuya around behind the ears. Up the neck goes Pairata, Doug.
Yes, exactly. You might remember this, that we've got Roland Smith, Johnny Kirkpatrick and David Burke are the top 3 at this stage. Down to Sam Welsh. He's sitting in 12th place going into this heat with a bit over 35 points. Looks like somewhere about 34 and a half is probably going to be the cutoff. So Sam's probably going to miss out. You can look at those points on stands 1, 2 and 3. We're looking at some fairly likely qualifiers there, depending what the job's like out in the back.
Beautiful, beautiful. These big Māori boys there on stands number 1 and 2, and down the last side. Piper pulls off his handpiece and the time is 8 minutes. The time is not too bad, Doug. That could be the ruling factor.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like Troy will be sitting right on close to that cutoff mark, I would say.
There they go, folks. Well, that's a good one. Nobody's in 29, but they're all very good points, though. Pairata 31.7. Ringakaha's the best. Oh, no. We have Nathan. He's 31.0. 31.1. There they go. Viewers, it is the man, Nathan Stratford, who's come out on top in that heat. But just to put you in context, we've got 30 shearers, and we rank them all through with their points, and the lowest, it goes in the lowest order. So at this stage it's Roland Smith sitting on 29, and it just goes down and down and down, and the qualifier might be 33 that might get through.
Yeah, I think probably into 34 maybe.
Okay, we're going to go back to the stadium. The boys down there in the dungeon down there, Tuma Mullins and Norm Haraway are coming back onto the stage, Doug.
There's the short and the tall of it, isn't it?
The short and the tall of it.
Nathan Stratford, top qualifier in that round, 31.474, handy lead. And there he is again, up there, sitting in second place currently, Nathan Stratford, just behind Roland Smith.
Just could I interrupt there, please, Norm? Could you, these people that I'm about to announce, could they please make sure they're down to the left of the announcers table at the end of this top 30, please? Matthew Smith, Mark Ferguson, Alex Smith, Sarah Higgins, Sonny Tifori, Lucky Garrett, Kieran Herbert, Vinnie Goodyear, Peora Manaroa and Roland Smith. Make sure you are down at the left of the announcers table for the presentations, please.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a look up the top of the screen there, that's the standings at the moment. So we've got Roland Smith. And we're taking the top 12.
Taking the top 12 we are, Toma, but there's still 6 shearers left to go onto that list, so that's going to change. You can guarantee that, because in this last heat, some big name players there, Toma. Let's get them up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. On stand number 6 from Waipawa, he's been a world champion, Cam Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
Go Cam. On stand number 1 from Hastings, put your hands together for young Lockie Baines.
Stand number 5 from Tikawiti, Mark Ranger, ladies and gentlemen.
And let's bring up onto stand number 2, folks. Just a fielding man, and he has played this game before. He was here last year. Aaron Haynes on stand 2.
On stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen, from Hastings, you all know this guy, Dion King, ladies and gentlemen.
And last but definitely not least, a big name, or a young name coming up into the big boys, Ethan Pankhurst from Masterton, folks. So another big lineup there, Toma. They'll get themselves sorted, and we'll catch you very shortly. Back to Big John McBride and Kerry Irvine, our commentators up in the box. They're going to get us going in heat number 5, the 5th and final heat here in the top 30.
Well, we've got a spread of qualifiers in this round from 27th down to 4. So there's a little bit of talent there, or there's a lot of talent. It's just about whether they can tap it out tonight. They do have the advantage of being in the last heat. They know what's before them. Nothing less than a miniature sheep. Quality right up there. Outside job, the minimum. That's what they'll all be striving for. And as we see, our computer room once again has been Johnny on the spot. They've got that green light going. So just a quick browse. I'm sure these guys won't muck around in the pens. Following this top 30, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having a presentation for several awards for the Still Shop Wairarapa Helicopter Evergreens and 1 or 2 others. And then we will also be having the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling test along with the Cycling Shearing Challenge. 2 more events to come after the presentations. And I'm sure our noodle people will be giving us another crack. It could be beef noodles or chicken noodles, I'm not sure. We've got them all on the board, so we let them go. They look happy enough. Mr. Referee, come along this end, please. Thank you. The thumbs are up. A little bit of hush, let's let them go. Timekeeper's good. Judges, competitors, go.
We're into it, Doug, the fifth and final top 30 shootout, and on stand number one, we've got this man. He's flying into it. This is one that's got to be done. It is Lockie Baines, also from Tawairau, but based in Hastings. The undermine time comes with this young man, and of course he's got a mother and a sister who are world record holders, aren't they?
And indeed, he also happens to be the brother-in-law of Roland Smith, so there's obviously a fair bit of tutorial helping out here.
A little bit of DNA flowing through the system there, and it's all rubbing off because this man has made the top 30. Let's see how he goes. He's a little bit slow. He's on 33 seconds. That's probably off the pace.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a great heat in this particular case. See, we've got Troy Piper down at 34.187 as the 12th qualifier at the moment. But you've got guys in this heat like Dion King, the 2006 winner, and Cam Ferguson, the 2010 winner, and Aaron Haynes, former runner-up, who only just had his first Open Championship win earlier this season in Central Hawke's Bay.
Well, there he goes. Lockie Baines puts his first sheep at 1 minute. On 1 minute, he's just tipped it there. That's a good pace, though.
Yeah, so I think they've all got number 2 out on the board now.
Number 2 on the board, and there he is, the man with the muscles on muscles. This is the guy that should be in the cover of Vogue because he's built and really built well. Into the undermine, the arms, muscles on muscles for Aaron Haynes as he goes up around behind here, flowing along nicely, Aaron Haynes. I'm sure the folks in fielding will be loving all of this because he's starting to go on the long blow. He's hungry as. Here he is, he's stretching out. Look at that beautiful shot. Background shot there as he's getting ready to turn to the last side. The camera crew is really working their butts off to give us these wonderful shots. Down the last side is Aaron Haynes, 1 minute and 49 seconds. He's a little bit off the pace that Roland was, Doug.
Yeah, indeed. I think we're going to see some interesting speed here. We're not yet down at Dion King, and I see there he is. And first in for number 3.
He popped in for sheep number 3, but Aaron Haynes goes in for sheep number 3. 2 minutes and 5 seconds is ticked by. And this is another young shearer that goes in there. Pankhurst, the Wairarapa boy. Whakate Ore is the name of Wairarapa, and he's holding the hopes there. I saw him shear a little earlier on in the heat, and he blazed through those sheep. Into the undermine, this guy is medal on medal, and up the neck goes Ethan Pankhurst. Round behind your ear, they're all on sheep number 3. They're getting a little bit behind on the pace, but let's see how he is. There he goes, Ethan Pankhurst works onto the first shoulder, throwing the handpiece at it, throwing the kitchen sink at him, Ethan. That's the one. He's only a young guy, Doug.
Yeah, exactly. Senior champion 2015. He won close to 40 competitions, I think, through the lower grades. He's obviously got it now. He's here in Golden Shears top 30. I think he made it last year from memory. He's also into that PGG Rights and Wool National Circuit top 12. So he's one of these guys that's made it perhaps slightly earlier than most of the other top senior shearers.
The pace is right, the time is good, and then he goes for sheep number 4. Out you come, baby. And he pulls her out on the board and sets it up. We move on to the man from Paharakeke Hastings. Into that he goes. Dion King, folks out there, look at him, he's hungry as. And like you say, he has won the Golden Shears before. He's had a record of 866, and he looks mean and lean too.
Exactly, I watched him closely at Uppity last week. As I said, he had the gear running really well, and suddenly, without doing a lot of competitions this season, has emerged as another real threat again. This is 13 years after he won the title in 2006.
Bang, he goes and he just hits his straps. He's turning to the last side. He's put the pressure on and the time is good. The points are good. Dion King, look, he's in his 4th sheep and he hasn't lost bugger all as far as second cuts goes. Down the last side, he's flying, Doug.
Yeah. The time's a little bit of a worry there, maybe 4 minutes and
5 seconds, I reckon, he's lost it.
Exactly, 4 minutes and 10 seconds for the 4 sheep so far.
We go to the young gun from Te Koiti. Mark Granger pops the sheep out and he goes for sheep number 6 or 5. Pulls that sheep out, this Granger. His father won the Golden Shears back in the 80s and he's a good mentor. The belly time comes off for Mark Granger. He's chasing along and he's got an absolute flyer. It's a beauty. Into the undermine goes Mark Granger. He starts to step up the neck and he's hungry as, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the World Wide Web, throwing everything at it. And let's go down to the next man behind him and onto the stand number 6, we've got the previous world champion. He won that in Wales in 2010, I think it was, or 12. Down the last side is Cam Ferguson. I watched him in the heats and he absolutely blazed them away.
Exactly. He's playing an interesting hand of cards here as Cam. Some guys looking at him think he might be carrying a bit too beef, but he's not showing it like that at the moment.
Well, that's his love handles, a fuel tank for his engine. So into the belly goes back to Dion King, and Dion King might be the man in front at the moment. Here we go, and there's 2 shearers on 6, and that's Dion King. They're all on sheep number 6, except the guy in the front stand. Round behind here, and here is Dion King, sheep number 6. Round behind here, Mark Granger steps up the neck. Cam Ferguson steps up the neck, but this man on stand number 3, he's the one that's doing the business. Ethan Pankhurst down the last side he comes. I tell you what, he's lifted his game, Doug.
Exactly, he's been doing a lot of shearing in Australia around Mortlake. That's his territory pretty much these days. And as I said, he's one of the younger senior champions of the past to make it through to this sort of level in only 3 to 4 years.
Well, folks out there in the World Wide Web, you've got to be in the stadium because they're just lifting the roof off for this young Ethan Pankhurst. Sheep number 7 on the board, and he's flying into the belly. Dion King says, "What's going on, young fella?" Here he comes. Dion King's chasing him along. The belly's been undone. Undermine time for Ethan Pankhurst. Undermine time for Dion King. Here he goes. He steps up the neck. He's chasing this Ethan Pankhurst, and this Ethan Pankhurst, he ain't lying down, Doug.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dion may well be the man here.
He could be the man, but I think this Ethan Pankhurst has found another gear. He's switched to auto turbo drive. Down the last side, he's just getting faster. Hopefully he doesn't throw away, sacrifice the quality for speed, Doug.
You can look at those points now. They're looking a bit ominous, though, for everybody. Aaron Haynes there looking like he's going to be a good shot, and so is Dion. Look at both under 27 points. And there we've got Mark Granger as well, under just hitting 27 at the moment, obviously with those other points outside to be counted. Mark, of course, as we said, his dad won the title in 1985, and Mark has been pretty consistent in those finals that have been won by Roland Smith in the last few weeks.
Okay, Ethan Pankhurst is the first one to step up the neck and around behind the on sheep number 8. Around behind the Dion King goes up. No, Cam, you've got another sheep. Did you see that? Cam pulled up and stood up and he took his handpiece off. He lost 10 seconds, Doug.
And that's enough to pose a big problem for the man.
Well, did the boys on the microphones put him off or say he was on his last sheep? I don't know, but he certainly did take his handpiece off. Or was he just doing something that, what was going through his mind?
Oh, exactly, down on stand 6. He doesn't need to listen to the commentator. He's got the whole world in front of him.
Yes, he has. Well, that's a little bit of a hiccup, so let's see if Cam can recover from that.
And there's Ethan out off the board.
He's a little bit high on the quality points, but Cam Ferguson is not too bad. Him and Dion King are sitting on points for points. Down the last side is Cam Ferguson. Down the last side is... But look at this guy. Aaron Haynes has come back to the party, Doug.
There's Dion King at number 8. He looks like he'll qualify 30.815 there at the moment.
God. Cam Ferguson. Aaron Haynes. What a good heat this has been, Doug. What a magnificent. This one, I believe, the only one, Ethan Pankhurst, and maybe Lockie Baines might just about not pop into that top 12.
Yeah, so remember that Mark Troy Piper down there on 34.187. It looks like he's going to be out just by the look of this round here.
Very good. Well, I would say there's 4 guys that could possibly go through. Aaron Haynes. They would look like. Well,
Dion King looking like he's about probably third.
Third?
Yeah.
Wow, that was fantastic. Well, we've come to the end of the Bayleys Top 30 Shootout, the $4,000 event, Doug. And what a night of entertainment. I've been down in the stadium. There's so much noise. Everybody's having the party of their lives.
Yeah, indeed, this top 30, there's a lot of very good shearers in the world, some of the best who have never been to this top 30 even in the past, and that's what they aspire to. We've got some here that given a good crack first time up, but a large number of names have been there many times.
Well, we'll just make a summarise, but the power of the computer, the push of a button, and we'll see the rolling numbers come up. We'll see the top 12 come up. And well, Doug will just recap on that. So far in the night, we had the Farmlands New Zealand Woolpacks pressing men's singles title. That young Vinny Goodger, didn't he do well?
Well, the Goodger family have dominated these events for most of the history of the wool pressing at the Golden Shears, but there's Ricky Stevens from Napier. He's given it a good crack. You know, Shearer, a wool handler and a wool presser, and he's doing pretty well at the whole lot.
I wonder if his wife does anything.
Oh, she cooks.
Hey?
as we know, his wife has been a top wool handler herself, and she's now up in the open class.
She's a good mother. Because he does everything, doesn't he? He's the ideal husband. I'm sure she's a very lucky girl.
Indeed. Yeah.
Hopefully she's not hearing us, because she'll be chasing us with a broom. So what have we got coming up? We've got the cycle challenge. And the Wairarapa Times Age are the sponsors of that.
Yeah, the big event still on the program is the Woolhandling Test match between Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand have dominated this series over the years. Australia got a fairly tough-looking sort of side here with Mel Morris and I think Sophie Huff from memory in the team. So it's a team with a bit of experience now. Melanie will be off to the World Championships later in the year.
They've qualified, haven't they?
Yeah.
We'll choose ours tomorrow. We've got the top 4 from the south. Who are they?
Exactly, from the South Island series. It was run in 2 stages, 4 competitors from a series in the South Island, 4 in the north. From the South Island, there was Pagan Karodia, Joel Henardi, Chelsea Collier,
Cherie.
And Cherry Peterson.
That's right, yeah. I saw Cherie. I'd never seen her before, but man, she did so well. And who's the North Islanders?
So the North Islanders, we ended up with Kieran Herbert, Tree Alabaster, Eremiha Nihal from Dannyburg, and the 4th one in was Nio Hansen from Eketahuna. Indeed.
Wow. I suppose we should acknowledge the fact that one of our long-time judges today was passed away, and he had his funeral today, Missy Tutavaha. So aroha mai ki a koutou, te whānau Tutavaha, nā mi nui ki a koutou, I tēnei wā, te wā pauri, haere atu rā e Missy. Well, that's greetings and a farewell that we say to Missy at this time.
Indeed, these things are always very widely felt right across the industry, and Missy was a very sort of common figure around the stadium here. Everybody knew him.
He had his own quiet character, didn't he?
Didn't he ever? Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break and recharge the batteries, and we're now going to go across to the presentations, and I think they're just getting them ready. But if you look around the stadium and you'll see it, we've got some wonderful sponsors. We must acknowledge Lister, who have been the machinery suppliers for the Golden Shears for a very long time, and I believe they possibly, I'm not quite sure, they may be using Lister equipment in Le Dorat in France.
Indeed, it was one.
Bonjour France.
Yeah, one thing about the Golden Shears, of course, is these very loyal sponsors over many years. Loyal sponsors, loyal people. Got families been right through this competition, organising things. Some families, I know, 3 to 4 generations of people that actually hardly ever see a sheep shorn. They're all out the back.
Righto, let's go to the Kiss Cam and see what's happening here. There's True Love. Becky.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Golden Shears has been going for 59 years now. And in 2020, we'll be celebrating our 60th competition. And throughout those years, the Golden Shears have seen many champions. And tonight we have 3 past champions from the very early days. So the Golden Shears Committee would like to acknowledge the presence of Martin Ngātaki, Tom Bro and Ivan Rosenditch here tonight. It is now time for the first of 2 presentations this evening. The first event that we'll be presenting the prizes to is the Wairarapa Helicopters and Still Shop Masterton Evergreen Woolhandling. If we could please have the competitors up to the board, and I'd also like to invite Jeremy Sharp from Still Shop. While we're waiting for the Evergreen wool handling competitors to come to the stage, I would like to invite Jeremy Sharp to say a few words. Jeremy would like to say that Still Shop are very proud to sponsor the Golden Shears and encourages all to come along tomorrow night and enjoy the entertainment. Thanks, Jeremy. The winner of the Wairarapa Helicopters and Still Shop Masterton Evergreen Wool Handling
receives $100 plus an MKM Tasman vest and the Golden Shears Cup. First place goes to John Hodder. John, you're one of the great characters of the Golden Shears, and even at your ripe old age, you're still winning titles. Congratulations.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks very much. Yeah, and thanks to the sponsor. Get me? Yep. That'll do me. That'll do me.
Good on you, John. Second place, $50 plus an MKM Tasman vest, Picky Tippy Y Samuels. And third place, $30 plus an MKM Tasman vest, Mate Parawa. The next event is the Wairarapa Helicopters and Still Shot Masterton Evergreen Shearing. Could we please have the competitors for the Evergreen Shearing up to the board? And I'd like to invite Tim Williams from Wairarapa Helicopters up also. In recognition of many years of volunteers and contributors to the Golden Shears over its 59 years, the Golden Shears Committee and all of those here present would like to acknowledge that Missy Tutava'a, who passed away recently, had his funeral today. Many of us here could not make it, so we wanted to acknowledge that passing. The winner of the Wairarapa Helicopters and Still Shot Masterton Evergreen Shearing receives $100 plus the MKM Tasman vest and the Bob Chamberlain Memorial Cup. First place had 17.7 penalty points. Second place had 19.1. First place in the Evergreen Shearing, Peter McCabe. Well done, Peter. I've got to say, when you came off the board earlier today, you were pretty cocky. You were pretty happy with the way you sheared, and it's turned out right today.
Yeah. Thank you. I had an awesome pen, the best pen I've had all year, and you're able to shear them really good. Thanks to the farmer, everyone involved, organising, the sheep and judges, everything. I had to try and cut my mate Russell back from winning last year, so I managed to do that. Thank you very much.
Good on you, Peter. Second place, $50 plus an MKM Tasman vest, Richard Pearson. John Hodder is collecting on his behalf. Third place, $30 plus an MKM Tasman vest, Russell Knight. Fourth place in MKM Tasman vest, Kevin Buckman. Fifth place in MKM Tasman vest, Alan Williams. And put your hands together for sixth place MKM Tasman vest, Neil Sidwell.
the Golden Shears would like to thank Wairarapa Helicopters and Still Shop Masterton for their support of the previous two prizes. I'd now like to invite Blair Shortall, National Key Account Manager for FMG, up on the board.
G'day everyone. Thanks, Kieran. That was a bit of a surprise. I just want to been sitting here tonight watching what's gone on, and I really want to say congratulations to the volunteers, actually, and the people that helped make this event happen. So, like, in the name of that, I've actually run into Nathan Williams, who's sitting over the back there, who helps with the sheet beforehand. And a mate of mine, Gray Boschma, has been out the back helping with bringing the sheep through. So just quickly to wrap this up, this is one of our longest running sponsorships from FMG. So thank you to all of your support for this. And I just really want to wish Murray Henderson and Aaron Baines, a couple of fielding lads, all the best.
The FMG Quality Shearing Awards is given to those shearers in the junior, intermediate, senior and open grades for the best quality points in the heats. The FMG Quality Shearing Award for the junior grade with only 3.5 penalty points, Matthew Smith. The FMG Quality Shearing Award for the intermediate grade with only 2.75 penalty points, Mark Ferguson. For senior shearing with 4 penalty points, from Rakaya, Alex Smith. And in the open grade, with 4.3 penalty points, put your hands together for the reigning Golden Shears champion, Roland Smith. We have one more quality award remaining. That is the Ian McGregor Trophy for the Wairarapa shearer with the best quality points in the heats. Before he gets off the board, put your hands together. Paura Moanaroa. Our next presentation is the Rural Women New Zealand Women's Shearing Quality Award from junior to open grade. I'd like to invite Fiona Gower, the National President of Rural Women New Zealand, up to the board.
Thanks, Kieran. And I'd like to acknowledge Fiona, who's still sitting down there. I'm Penny Mudford, National Chair, Rural Women New Zealand, and we are delighted to be here at Golden Shears. We're very proud of Golden Shears, and we're proud of everyone who competed. But this particular award recognises the top quality women shearer in recognition for the skill and competence of some of our women shearers.
The winner of the Rural Women New Zealand Women's Shearing Quality Award from junior to open grades with 5 penalty points, from Marlborough, Sarah Higgins. Congratulations, Sarah. Now, I think, well, certainly in my time with the Golden Shears for the last 10 years, we've had the most female competitors this year than previous years. So it's not an easy task to come away with the best quality points overall. Congratulations.
Thanks, Kieran. It is really great to see the women competitors increasing every year, and a huge thank you to Rural Women for recognising us. Thank you, everyone, for organising Golden Shears.
The next presentation is the Mangan Graphics and Friends of Golden Shears Quality Wool Handling Award. I'd like to invite Rachel McDonald from ANZ up to the board. The Friends of the Golden Shears is an opportunity for you, businesses, groups and individuals to support the Golden Shears. It is difficult to run a world-class event. We're reliant on volunteers and we're very grateful for the support of Mangan Graphics and those who have signed up to the Friends of the Golden Shears to assist us in putting this event on. This is for those in the junior, senior and open wool handling events with the best quality points overall. For the junior grade, with 118 points, Sunny Te Whare. For the senior grade, with 94 points from Ekatahuna, Lucky Garrett. And in the open grade, with only 72 quality points, from Tikuiti, Karen Herbert. There is also one more award for quality in wool handling. It is the Les Field Trophy for best quality wool handling points in heats. Again, Karen Herbert. Could I please now invite Mark Barrowcliffe, President of NZSCA, up to the board. This presentation is for the New Zealand Shearing Contractors Association Triathlon. This is awarded to the competitor with the best points taken from heats in all three disciplines: shearing, wool handling and wool pressing. With only 128 penalty points, the winner of the 2018 19 Golden Shears Triathlon from Masterton, Vinny Goodjar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just to give some context about how much of an athlete this man is, this is his 5th Golden Shears Triathlon title. Now, Vinny, you were in the final for the wall pressing earlier tonight. It must be difficult to focus on so many things across a Golden Shears competition, and yet you've managed to do it and come out on top yet again.
Yeah, it was one of those years. I worked pretty hard in the wool shed to get where I am today. I dedicated a lot of time just to practice with strengthening up my weaknesses for each events, and I'd just like to thank the sponsors and everyone that helped out behind the scenes. A special thanks to all the competitors. Without you competitors, this event would never be there. So, thank you very much.
I'd like to now invite Mr. Peter Reedy, CEO of Farmlands, and also Jeremy Sharp, back up to the board for the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Pairs Wool Pressing. And could we also please have the competitors for the Pairs Wool Pressing up on the stage?
On behalf of Farmlands, it's a genuine privilege to be here tonight. You have an amazing event. The buzz, the energy, the vitality, the competitors, and the incredible organisers who put this together through a lot of bloody hard work. So congratulations and well done.
Again, could we please have the competitors from the Pairs Wool Pressing final up on the board? The winning pair of the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Pairs Wool Pressing receives $500 in Farmlands vouchers plus the Sharp family silver platter. With only 36.15 penalty points, they've done it again. Jeremy and Vinny Goodger. Once again, the Goodger name goes down in Golden Shears history for wool pressing. We've almost lost count of the number of times that you two and your family have won this event. I know how much it means to you and your family. Well done.
Yeah, cheers. This means a lot to our whānau. I've been here for a long time now, and Vinny, you done me proud, bro. I brought him up when he was about 11 years old, practicing how to press, and now we're battling it out together. And it's good to see him get up there and do what he does best. To the Gordon boys, well done today. You fellas did a good show today, and you pressed well, awesome. Hope to see you guys next year. It's a big 60th next year, so I encourage all the young ones to come out and press. And if you need any help, come and see me. I'll help you out, boys. Cheers.
The Golden Shears has always been a family affair. It's never easy to make a final. Please put your hands together for Adam and Joseph Gordon. Could we please have the competitors from the women's wool pressing final up on the board? The Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Women's Wool Pressing. With first place receiving $300 of Farmlands vouchers. With 79.6 points from Masterton, Fiona Healy. Well done, Fiona. That's not easy. I saw you compete earlier today and you were buggered. So well done. I know that you weren't all that confident. You didn't know how you were going to go, and here you are taking out the title. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank Farmlands for sponsoring the event, judges and fellow competitors. You've all done well. And my family and supporters that have been here for the last 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you. And continuing the proud Wairarapa tradition of wool pressing here at the Golden Shears, put your hands together for second place from Pahiatua, Christine Walland. Could we please have the men's wool pressing finalists up on the board? Ladies and gentlemen, on the board here in front of you, you have two incredible athletes. Ricky Stevens was a finalist in this event last year. He was the winner of the 2017 triathlon, the winner of the 2017 junior Woolhandling, and competes in the senior shearing. Vinny Goodger is now a 5 times triathlon champion, has won this event 3 times, and has now won the pairs 7 times. You may be interested to know that of the last 18 years of this competition, 17 of those have been won by a Goodger. The question is, has that run stopped tonight? The winner of the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand men's wool pressing receives $700 Farmlands vouchers and the Rady family trophy. The winner had 40.5 points. Second place, 52.3. Put your hands together for Vinny Goodger. Vinny, that's an incredible record to maintain for your whānau. This must be a very proud moment.
It's always an honour to come up here and press in front of a big crowd like this. As nerve-wracking as it can be, it's always a good thrill. This is my 4th time collecting this trophy, and I think out of all those times, this is really means that it's quite important to me to take this year, so I'm quite pleased about that. I just want to say a special thanks to all the sponsors, to all the judges, pressing judges. You've done a good job this year. To everybody that helped in the back, scoring times and up in the back there. And a special thanks to all my family that have been there from day one. You know, sort of had some down times, and my family's always been there, kept me in line, and you know, keep me happy. So this is for you, whānau.
Well, you saw how demanding wool pressing is It's a hard feat just to make the final, let alone 2 years in a row. Put your hands together for second place, Ricky Stevens. Ladies and gentlemen, that now concludes this part of the first presentation of the night. We'll now be setting up for the big event, the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling Test. Whilst we do that, I'll hand you back over for your entertainment to the Noodles.
Just as they come in there, we do have a couple of sets of car keys being handed in. 2 sets of car keys.
Mavis is going to commentate, eh? You and Mavis.
Hi there, folks, out there in the World Wide Web. We're coming to you live from the 2019 Golden Shears here in the Masterton War Memorial Stadium. We've just had some presentations, and it was just great that we were able to catch this young man, this young athlete, before he moved on. So we're sitting here with the crowned wall pressing pairs champion, the singles champion, the triathlon champion. So we've got a triple whammy here. Vinny Goodyear, welcome. Kia ora.
Thanks, Koro.
Hey, what a night.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better result. In our family, we call that the trifecta. So I think Jeremy's won that 3 times, and this is my 2nd time that I've done it. So hopefully plenty more times to succeed and get the trifecta a few more times.
How old are you now?
28.
Oh,
I'm getting on now, Koro.
Getting on, eh? Getting on. Well, I spoke to Vinny a little earlier on, and he said, I didn't like getting up there and speaking, but you nailed it. You mentioned everybody that was meant to be mentioned. Sponsors are a very important key to the competitions, and you've got them. And the big boss there from Farmlands was there shaking your hand. So we got to send the sponsors away happy.
Yes,
so
definitely.
They'll come back, and you had the brother Jeremy talk about the 60th birthday. So we talk about this, and I often talk that you watch darts on TV and they don't put the effort or the physical or just what's required. 30,000 pounds, 100,000 pounds, and it'll be wonderful if we could get to this. Bayleys have come up with a lot of money for the open shearer, $4,000 for the open shearer. Shear expertise, a big lot of money for the open wool handler, but I still think there's room to move. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, from previous years of competing, it'll be good to get a little bit more prize money for the pressing, and that might lure a few more youngsters to the game.
Yes, yes.
I know a few people I've talked to, open shearers themselves, they said that if the prize money was worthy enough for them to compete, they'd enter the pressing. So it's definitely something, a thought for the future. Speak to the right people and it could happen.
Well, tonight, and there's a buzz out there, and you've been coming here a little while, I've been coming a damn long time, and tonight, I don't believe I've ever seen a Friday night with so much buzz.
Yeah, it's been definitely the best final I've pressed in. I've trained quite hard in my off hours and all that, and tried getting the body in shape to compete to the best of my level, and I feel like I've done a good job, and the crowd were awesome. Had plenty of family and support there. It was
amazing.
A really good night. Yeah.
Well, Vinny, just before we go back to the stadium, we're getting ready for the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling test. Is there anybody, I know you had a shout out there and you've acknowledged people, but when you come down you think, oh, God, I should have said something about this or that. So this is your opportunity.
So pretty much I just want to encourage all our young athletes out there that, that anything's possible. If you put your mind to it and you have a bit of drive and competitiveness, you can succeed and achieve those goals. And this is just a message to our youth that don't be shy. Like if you're competing against the best, you got to put yourself against the best, and don't be shy to come in and enter and do your best.
Yeah, well, I suppose we could throw that out to the Māori people as well. Whakahihi is the word, don't be shy. That's what
right.
It's all about. And this is a beautiful industry to be in. Next year, John Hodder's talking about putting 3 wool presses down there on the table, on the board. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's definitely an idea anyway for the future.
Yeah, well, I do think, and Golden Shears is always thinking outside the square, so it'll be great.
It'll be awesome, yep, definitely.
So there you go, folks out there in the World Wide Web. Vinny Goodyear, triple whammy, and the trifecta. His family call it the trifecta. I know you've got a lot of celebrations to do tonight, so go out and enjoy the time with your family.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Koro.
Kia ora. Okay, Toby, we'll go back to the stadium.
That's the noodles, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a hand. We do want to dance, don't we, Norm? Norm, we do want to dance.
Yes, Toma. Whatever you say.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the Trans-Tasman. You know, with the Trans-Tasman, we take these things fairly seriously, especially, you know, New Zealand versus Aussie. And in this event, these wool handlers will be handling 4 merinos, 4 long wool fleeces. So it's going to be pretty tough on them, Norm, but there's a 15-second countdown in between the 2 breeds.
Yeah, certainly, like the Aussies are obviously going to specialise in the fine wool fleeces and the Kiwis in the crossbred fleeces, so evens things up a wee bit. Nothing's taken for granted here at the Golden Shears, and it's going to be a great test for our 2 teams.
Okay, let's bring up the Australian team, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a hand as they come up. Manager is Jamie Clout, and the wool handlers are Melanie Morris and Sophie Hoof.
And the New Zealand team, ladies and gentlemen, our manager Peter McCabe, wool handlers Sri Alabasta and Joel Hanare. Nothing, is it? It's not there for a reason, though.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first up we're going to get Jamie Clout to introduce his team.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'd like to thank everyone for making us feel so welcome. So, before a few things, AWI in Australia were just supporting us from getting us over here. So, before I introduce the team, so first of all, Sophie Huff, Melanie Morris, and our wool handling judge is Rob Carter.
And thanks, Jamie. And of course, the New Zealand team, ladies and gentlemen, Peter McCabe, the manager. You can do the same with your team. Introduce the boys and girls here.
Hoi hoi, people. Hoi hoi.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank all our sponsors for getting us over to Perth for the Trans-Tasman trip. We were really well looked over after over there. It was just a fantastic trip. They headed us off over there, so we're hoping to change that tonight. I go introduce my team. Joel Honare, the reigning world champion. Cherie Alabaster, the past world champion. And our wool handling judge, Linda Tarrant. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. So New Zealand versus Australia Trans-Tasman wool handling tests, and a huge thanks to the sponsors of this event, CP Wool, huge supporters of shearing sports in this country. Thank you, CP Wool.
If we could please get everybody up standing for the national anthems.
Hey. of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia
Okay, captains, you'll have a few words to say to your team. We'll make our way off the stage, Norm, and may the best team win.
Thank you,
Aussie,
Tom.
Aussie, Aussie.
Yeah, good luck to both teams.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Kicker! So just like to introduce you ladies and gentlemen to Mavis Mullins and Toma Mullins, going to be taking you through the CP Wool Trans-Tasman wool handling test. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Norm. It's lovely to welcome Mavis Mullins to the commentary team. She's been working with me right through these last 2 days, and she has a lot of wonderful things to say, and she's got a lot of knowledge when it comes to these fibres that these wool handlers are about to handle. So thank you very much, Mavis, for joining us in the commentary team. We have a pretty big one here this evening, the Trans-Tasman test.
It's a big one, all right. And it's always exciting. Any Trans-Tasman test is exciting, especially when we have competitors here or representatives, country representatives of the calibre that we have this evening. Welcome everybody to the Friday evening, to the big match, the test, the Trans-Tasman test, New Zealand versus Australia. Back to you, Toma.
Okay, we're just waiting on the green light from Lance Waddell and his team. These wool handlers, they would have had a team talk. They will have a strategy, as we were saying a little bit earlier on, Mavis. And their baskets will be strategically placed around. Okay, we have the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? As I was saying a little bit earlier, we have 4 merinos and 4 long wools. So she's going to be a little bit slow at the start, but end up fast and furious. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, Mavis, these merinos, they call them red eyes. Why do they call them red eyes? Is that because shearers cry when they do them, or what's the go with that? I think it's because the amount of wool on them. So these red eyes, ladies and gentlemen, they can have up to 10 kilo fleeces, huge things. And these look like well-grown wethers.
They are well grown, all the way from Alan Patterson in the deep south. He's been a great friend and a great supplier of quality merinos for these competitions for the last, probably the last decade. He selects specifically for these competitions. You will notice that there is a slower pace. These beautifully fine-wooled sheep are quite dense, and so therefore the shearing gear that is used is quite different. It takes a lot of skill with all those wrinkles and this very, very dense wool to actually harvest this wool. But nevertheless, the value of these merinos, I'm not sure. I see the Carfields guys down here. Value must be at least, what, $10, $15 a kg?
23.
Up he's going. It's a heck of a lot more. How fantastic for our New Zealand wool growers.
Okay, Mavis, the shearers they've done the undermine, now they move their way up the head. Now these merinos, the wool for these goes into Italian suits and things like that, doesn't it? So it's a wonderful fibre, the merinos, and they don't mind the cold. It's been cold here in Masterton, so I suppose they wouldn't mind the place at all. But here we go, the shearers moving up around the neck. These wool handlers, they will stick with their shearers, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment. With the long wool, you are only allowed to skirt the belly, around the crutch and around the head at the board. The rest of the processing must get done on the wool table.
That's right. This wool is ultra fine, so it's very, very soft. You know those beautiful merino garments that you can wear close to your skin, that is soft and gentle to touch, that we use for our babies and undergarments. These are the sheep that provide that. We will be seeing the crossbreds, which is a little bit different, and we'll talk about that later, but definitely those fine Italian garments, and not just Italian. You know, we've got some pretty incredible New Zealand designers also using this beautiful fabric, this beautiful fibre.
Okay, so the shearers are all about to turn to the last side. The wool handlers, they will be there to grab the cheek wool, the shorter wool around the head. It's a hollow fibre, so it does not take the dye like the main body wool. So what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, is adding value to the wool grower, the farmer, and that's what all these baskets are around these tables. And every one of those baskets, there will be a different line of wool. So these wool handlers, you know, the shearer just gets up there, shears the sheep. It's actually the wool handlers that are really adding value to the farmer. So these wool handlers, they're very, very valuable, Mavis.
They are. They're making decisions on the hop. As these shearers are working this wool off, they're making decisions. But let's talk a little bit about these competitors, the Australians. We've got Sophie down there, a mother of two beautiful little children, well supported by her husband Paul. Her biggest achievement really has been a world competitor. Now let's just watch how there's strategy going on here. Nothing happens by accident. Wow, look at that throw by Joel Henare. That's a beautiful throw, a bit of overhang. Every overhang or bunching or folding over of the fleece, the size of an A4 piece of paper, attracts 1 penalty point. Just looking at what Joel did there, I would have thought he probably would have lost somewhere in the vicinity of maybe 8 penalty, maybe more. I'm not the judge on there. We've got our key people doing that. But that gives you an idea of how this is judged, how it's all decided. Toma, how did they go down there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of bunching. Sophie, I don't think she was quite confident to give that fleece a real big throw because it was the bigger animal of the two. So they've gotten rid of their bigger fleece first, roll up time. You see these Aussies, they are working together. Down that end of the New Zealand team, you've got Cherie on the board and Joel is working the fleece by himself. But here we go, Sophie, she's eyeing up that fleece on the floor. You cannot have more than one fleece on the table, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Melanie placed it nicely on the floor so that Sophie, she knew exactly how Melanie was going to set it up, and so Sophie grabbed it and she's managed to put it all on the table. She's done very, very well, Mavis.
It's a good job, bit of bunching in the middle. But she was, like you said, it's just having that confidence to understand how that fleece has been gathered, how it's been put down, and then the confidence to release it. Let's have a look at Joel. He's getting ready for the second throw down here. A lot of points can be lost here. In fact, probably the majority. So this is a big deal. Up it goes. Joel's going to go to the end of the table. No, to the side. Gently, beautifully placed. But again, some bunching. These are very big fleeces. They don't fit easily on these tables. So again, they have to think about, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make it easy to find all those odd bits that need to be separated from these beautiful fleeces?
Okay, we're talking about competitors. We have Melanie Morris. She is Sophie's teammate. So Melanie's been here for a number of years now, enough to call us all bro. She's from Tasmania and she is a wonderful little competitor. But look at these wool handlers. They're working together. Teamwork is what it's all about, Mavis. And down there we have Joel Henare, the current world wool handling champion.
We have, and he's just hopped off the table. He noted that some of his wool went outside the judging area. If he was to leave it there, that would attract quite a few penalties. So he retrieved it, and now he's really starting to prepare that fleece. Joel, yes, our current world champion, he's been brought up in the shed. I mean, most of the competitors in New Zealand have had something to do with Joel over his years. Look at that beautiful clean table. And you're quite right, there's a lot of teamwork going on down that far end.
Okay, so this is the last of the merinos. Once these shearers finish these merinos, we have a 15-second countdown, and then we'll bring on the crossbreds. Now, we cannot cross-contaminate the wool, can we, Mavis? So these judges, they'll have their eyes out. They'll be looking to see what's going on.
Nice throw, Joel. That's right. They're going to have to really get themselves sorted here. It's a very limited time they've got to get this wool out of the road. If there's any of the crossbred wool that touches
14,
this fine wool, they will
13,
attract a penalty.
12.
Let's see what the strategy
11,
looks like.
10, 9.
Okay, now the pressure comes on, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot mix the crossbred wool with the merino wool. So these wool handlers, they need to move along or they are going to be penalised severely.
1.
We got Joel Hennard here. Roll up time for him. He is not mucking around. Get in behind the New Zealand team, ladies and gentlemen. They are giving it everything. The Australians down here, Mavis, they haven't even skirted their fleece yet. What's Joel doing? Oh, he's going to throw it in. It's a beauty. Okay, now the wool handlers, Mavis, they need to have one eye on the fleece, one eye on the shearer, and one eye on the judge. They've only got 2 of them. How are they going to do it?
It's interesting. You can see the different strategies being employed here. The Australians are saying, let's hang together as a team. Whereas down here for our team, they're going, no, Joel, I trust you. You get that fleece off the table. I'll take care of both of these guys. So totally different strategies. Interesting to see how it might end up.
Well, I tell you what, Mavis, I think these Australians are in trouble because Joel's rolling up the fleece. How are they doing at the New Zealanders? These Australians, they've still got the merino fleece on the floor. Sophie, she runs around, she picks it up. Oh, she's going to give it a throw. Joel bangs the table, Mavis. She's all on. Sophie a little bit flustered through half the fleece on the floor. Oh, these Aussies, I think they're freaking out, Mavis.
Yep, well, we're having some dramas down this end. Nevertheless, they're getting that table sorted out. We don't need too many people up there, please.
Okay, we got 4 long wool fleeces. These are the crossbreds, and they're about to come off. Sophie, she's at the table. Melanie's underneath the table, cleaning it up. We cannot cross-contaminate. Sophie turns and throws. Not a bad throw it is either. We got a lovely throw down there for the New Zealanders. She's organised chaos up there, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it rolls in the wool sheds. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no stopping these shearers, but these wool handlers, they do this every day. They can handle this pressure, Mavis.
That's right. In a wool shed, it's the shearers are being paid by head per head. They need every dollar they can get. And the wool handlers, you just have to make it work. You fit around them, and if they step it up, you step it up. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Wonderful how the Australians, different strategies, but you know what? They're not too far away from each other. There's going to be a lot down to quality.
There is going to be a lot down. It's going to come down to out the back. They have a sealed time, Mavis, of 1 minute and 15 seconds. That is not a lot of time. Joel Hennard, he's already got 1 fleece in the fadge, and he is picking up the second one. The Aussies are not too far behind either. Oh, we're having a good old ding-dong battle here, ladies and gentlemen. The Aussies are coming back at the Kiwis. The shearers are turning to the last side. We got Sophie there. She's got all that merino wool, tidying that up. Melanie, she's working her way around the top of the fleece. The neck wool comes off. Oh, she's going good here, Mavis. She's a real close one.
They sure are. They're doing a beautiful job down there as a team. Different strategy again up here, but nevertheless, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. It's what works that matters.
Okay, here we go. 1 minute and 10 seconds is the seal time. Let's see, the Kiwis have already got the lovely throw there by... Oh, the Aussies are working together as well. Now we got the teamwork coming down, Mavis, and we know that the Kiwis can clean up real quick.
I wouldn't put too much past the Aussies. They've been coming here a long time. Mel's one of the most consistent Australian wool handlers that has been to New Zealand. She knows how this works. She'll be pushing her mate along. But now we've got the final fleece on. Beautiful throw by Cherie Alabaster.
Oh, we got a lovely throw down here from the Aussies as well. Is there any Aussies in the house? You need to get in behind your team because I think they're getting tired. The Kiwis are just warming up. Joel and Cherie, they're starting to get a bit of a glow about them, Mavis.
They've got their plan worked out. Final fleece is gone. Now it's the clean-up. And this is really where you see who's organised and who's not. Who's thought about how they're going to get this, all these different wool packs or lines in the right places.
Melanie down here just moves the table around a little bit for her teammates so we can sweep up. We got the sweep up coming up. We got Melanie and Sophie, both of them broom in hand. But down there, the New Zealand team, they are looking around. Are they happy?
Nearly there, nearly there. Yes!
Time for the Australians, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful battle we've had this evening.
It's a fantastic battle, and as we said, I think this is all going to come back to, out the back, how much quality focus has been applied here, how much panic has kind of detracted them. What a fabulous test. Thank you very much to those competitors.
Okay, before we get these guys to leave the stage, I'll just have a quick word with Melanie. Melanie, you've been here a few times. You've tussled with the Kiwis. You guys had totally different game plans. How did you and Sophie go? You guys look like it worked out all right.
Yeah, we like to play to each other's strengths, so we try to work as a team, and yeah, we seem to work well together, so it's good.
I see at the end you give Soph the big high five. You must be fairly happy with how you guys went.
Yeah, we are, and it's our goodbye to Masterton because I'm retiring at the end of the season. So
No way, Mel.
Well,
No
she didn't.
way.
She hasn't asked the Golden Shears committee if she can retire yet, so I don't really think that's going to happen. But congratulations to you guys, the Aussie team. We're going to have another number from the Noodles.
See, this is what happens. Look here. Down the bloody...
What a night the Golden Shears has been on a Friday night. Variety night, Mavis Mullins, what a variety night it has been. We've had the top 30 Bayleys, top 30 shootout, and those 12 guys have gone through. And we've gone down. The Goodyear man takes out the triple whammy. And, of course, you're very closely related to the Goodyear, so one for the whānau.
I'll claim it.
I'll claim it. And now we've just seen the Trans-Tasman test. What's your thoughts?
I thought that was a fantastic test. That's probably one of the closest I've seen for a long while. It was totally different strategies, but they both got to the place that I think they both wanted to go. I was excited about the Australian team, but sad to hear Mel say she might be retiring, but let's see what that means.
There was only 16 or 14 seconds in the times, wasn't there? I actually thought the Aussies were way off the mark when it came to time. Aussie people will probably disagree, but there was bugger all in the times, wasn't there?
I don't think there was much in it at all, and that's what I say. They both did things quite differently, but they didn't, it wasn't that big gap that we have seen in the past. It was pretty tight, and I think, like I said, a lot of it's going to come back to quality out the back. New Zealand probably had the better throws, but then, you don't know really what's going on until the points all come out.
Where I was sitting, I couldn't see the board, the total board, but apparently we were outstanding.
Oh, cool.
The numbers. You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I'm too busy hanging in there focusing on them.
Well, there you go. That tells half the story. That tells half the story.
Yeah.
So the Aussies have got to do real well out the back to be able to haul that back, haven't they?
It's been done before. I do think our guys worked well, and I watched quite carefully because the quality job is where it counts. But, I'm up for surprises as well. And let's just see where those outside scores go to.
Well, in the big picture, we've been struggling lately, especially on the shearing side of it. We're quite good in the Woolhandling, and I believe we lost in Australia.
We did.
By this same team,
Yep.
Sophie Hoof and Mel Morris.
That's right. And so one of the things I've been talking to the Aussies, and Mel said this is probably the most consistent team membership they've had for some time. Her and Sophie have been together, I think she said, for 4 seasons, 4 years now. That's enough time to really build rapport, get some, the kind of energy going between them. And I kind of felt I felt that they had that tonight.
In Australia, a big country, we really have got a big country there. How do they choose their competitors? It's so vast.
Yeah, well, I think we'll leave those comments, Koro, to the Shearing Sports Australia. But there's a couple of things. Sophie her biggest highlight was when she came to New Zealand to the World Championships in Invercargill, was it 2 years ago? The Aussies came fourth. Now, they haven't actually really pushed their waka hard in that wool handling since, I think, probably Aroha Garvin. But I just think that they've done well. I'm not sure how far that'll take them.
Yep.
But nevertheless, whatever it is, shearing and wool handling wins tonight, that's for sure.
Okay, well, we're going to have the prize giving for that very soon. We're going now to the Wairarapa Times Age Cycling Shearing Challenge, and the teams looks like for cycling, tennis, and the winner from Thursday. So they're having a bit of a shootout there. So the round the night off, it's been a wonderful day, hasn't it, at the Golden Shears? It's been a wonderful day with the open wool handling. Everybody was a lot of entries capped because there were so many people that had entered this year.
That's right. It's been a great 2 days, actually. We're nearing the end of our second day. And there's just a real buzz. There's a real buzz there. There's just energy with all the young ones. And it was really exciting to see the top 30 You know, there's just a whole new wave that have come through that have stepped from quite the lower grades and they've come through. Normally, they'll step into the open, seniors will step into the open.
Boom, hit a wall.
Get bashed around a bit and they say, not for me, and gone. But when you look at all those names, Koro, they've come through, they've stayed, and now they're pushing through. It's been a great couple of days.
I think this Golden Shears has been the best for a long, long time.
Kind of feels that way.
It kind of feels like it. Since you were the president.
Oh, goodness.
Since you were the president.
Are you drinking?
No, I'm on
gin
Charlie's. Charlie's is our sponsor of the Good Waters. So we are consuming the products that have been sponsored by us. So Charlie's is a sponsor.
Kia ora.
So Toby, we're going to go back to the stadium now. We'll go back to the Kiss Cam and we'll just see how the stadium is, because it's really permeating. It's pumping out there, mate. It's really on fire.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, back to you, Toby.
I was speaking to JJ the other night. Right? That takes an hour.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for this evening's entertainment. The Noodles. Well done, team. Thank you guys very much. So just one more quick event to round the evening off. Of course, the Golden Shears is not over yet. We still have a big day and a night tomorrow to get through. We're going to find a lot more winners of a lot more competitions yet. A huge thanks once again to all our sponsors. A lot of you are here tonight. Great to see you here. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. And thanks once again for all your input into the Golden Shears. Just before we move on to the next event, the top 12 shearers that have come out of the top 30, the semi-finalists. Some of you may have seen it on the screen. In case you didn't, the semi-finalists in the Bayleys Open, the top qualifier out of that top 30 was Roland Smith. The next 11 shearers with Roland in the semi-final will be Dion King, Nathan Stratford, Gavin Much, Aaron Haynes, Ringakaha Pawai, Cam Ferguson, Johnny Kirkpatrick, Murray Henderson, David Buick, Palata Abraham, and Mark Granger. So they're our top 12 out of the top 30, folks. Give them a big hand. And hopefully we'll see you all here tomorrow to support them and watch them as they make a bid for the top 6 and competing in the big Golden Shears Open final. A big thanks to all our Woolhandling judges and our shearing judges up here tonight. Big day for them tomorrow as well. And all our helpers and staff all around the stadium and out the back, out the front, on the roof and under the ground. Just like to introduce you now to Gerald Spain once again from Southland, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to run us through this event. He's going to explain a bit about it, and he's going to bring some of his high-intensity commentating to the floor, folks. Gerald Spain, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Norm Haraway, my Southland mate. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're getting noisy, and that's all good. I have a couple of jobs to do. I have this bike thing to do up here. We've got 3 teams. Before I go there, I have commentated for a number of years, and this has been a long time during an event that I have forgot to mention the sponsor. And I did it right here tonight. My son would say, "Dad, you choked." That's what he would tell me. So we did the pressing. The sponsor was Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand. And they don't just sponsor one pressing event, they sponsored them all. They sponsored the men's individual, the women's, the peers and the novice. So thank you very much, Farmlands, and thank you, Woolpacks New Zealand. I will sleep better having said that. Right, let's go through the order here. So the sponsor here is the Wairarapa Times Age. The sheeps are supplied by White Spurs. So thank you to you guys. the winner, and it's all goes to charity, all this money. It's a bit of a fun event, but in behind the scenes, the donations are for all good, as if to say. First prize will go for the quickest shorn sheep. That's a clean shear. 3 teams. The problem is you're wondering what this bike is, okay? The list of machines are sitting out the side here, resting up. This bike's going to be pedal pad. That then in turn is going to drive this machine here, okay? This is an invention, a fun invention by Neil Sidwell from up the Auckland way. So thank you, Neil, for bringing it down once again for the Golden Shears. Rightio, so in that case, yeah, $350 for first, $250 and then $200 with some MKM jerseys each, but all donated. Okay, can we have the first team up? The first team is the winner. Now, to understand what's going to happen here, the Golden Shears have held this event. Hold. I'm ahead of myself. Just freeze there for a wee minute, mate. Thank you. The Golden Shears have had this event for 3 years. Okay. This is the winners of each event, each year. All right. So these are the winners from 2016. So it's like all the golden oldies coming back. Right. Now you may come up, mate. So give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Full Sutherland. He's going to be the shearer. Come on, put your hands together. Stick with me for a few minutes. It won't take long. This is going to be a good game and a fast game. Then we have Leslie Mowat. Leslie, are you doing the time for me? Leslie, are you doing the time for me? Sorry? Are you doing the time or riding the bike? You're going to ride the bike? Ladies and gentlemen, she's going to ride the bike. Rightio. Leslie, the truth is, she has been a past world champion cyclist in age group stuff. I was trying to politely ask her age. I wasn't sure how I was going to do that. I'm a bit of a southern polite boy, but I just still couldn't word it correctly. And she just said, I'm 60 plus. Okay, so that's how it rolls. My time, man. We're good to go there. We just need a clean shear. Bit of fun. Get in behind them, please, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have a bit of antifreeze in your blood now, I would say. So it's a clean shear, but the shearer can only go as fast as that cutter goes. Otherwise, it won't cut the wool, of course. It's not like these big, powerful lister machines up above. The Clyde Dam from down my way that generates all the power, and the Manapuri to Tiwai and the likes, is going to come from here. These muscles. On that note, the timekeepers are ready. On your marks, get set, go. Go, Leslie. That's the belly wool gone. Full Sutherland. He's a South Storage businessman and an ex-shearer. Leslie Mowat, she is a reverend. And she's in deep thought right at the moment. I'm quite sure somehow she is defying the aging process. I'm not sure how she's doing it. Maybe the good Lord has been looking after her that way, because look at her go, ladies and gentlemen. She is into it. The shearer's smoking it out. What's the running time, young fella? I'm getting fired up. 48 seconds and hitting the last shoulder now. It all comes down to time. Remember, there's 2 teams to come after this. 56, 57. How's Leslie going? The pair's starting to run out, folks. Bring her home. You've got about 5 seconds to go, Leslie. Stick with it. Stick with it from the cycling club. Leslie, take a break. Take a break. Is she from Masterton or what? What's in the water up here, folks? Leslie, you weren't listening at all. Is that called the zone?
I can't talk right now.
You can't talk? Wow. What did that feel like? Is that like was she like a lister machine?
Oh, better, faster.
Unbelievable. Here, come down, darling. Come on. We don't want any accidents, do we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough fun and games. Bit of lightheartedness. Thank you, Leslie. Thanks very much. And thanks, Phil Sutherland, the Cycling Club. Now, it is the quickest time. We had a bit of an idea how they're going. Let's just have a bit of a look. We won't tell anyone because our wonderful MC, Kieran McAnulty, will be taking care of the results later on. Okay, we've got that locked and loaded. It's over a minute, but still a good time. This will be known as a shearer coming out of the pen right now. Will be, come on, wool away, and giving the wool handlers a bit of a hurry up. That's what happens in the shed, and when it's knock-off time, they say, come on, you wool handler, get me a beer. Right, while we're clearing the board there. Are you enjoying it, Masterton? I knew you'd stick with it. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So that was the 2016 champions. Now the 2017 champions, tennis club. So we've got a cycling club against the tennis club. Right. The shearer is Neil Wyeth. And the cyclist will be Zandy Wallace. Zandy. You get some people. What's it go, mate? You're a stock agent or what's going on here? You know a lot of people. Who knows Zandy? Holy smoke. Who knows Gerald Spain? Only a couple. Deflated my ego. Right. Neil Wyeth. All right. Quiet in the cheap seats, please. Neil Wyeth, farmer shearer. Mainly a farmer, actually. Zandy Wallace knows everything and everyone. He's a farmer from Masterton too. You're all good to go. Thanks, bud. Are you right, mate? You're right? Good. In that case, on your marks, get set, go. Come on. Zandy. Carry going. Zandy. Oh, I can smell some smoke coming off the rubber. We'll have Neil Sidwell up here in a minute, do a bit of adjustment. Holy smoke. Zandy's burning the smoke here. Up and round towards a long blow now. The tennis club. The Raphael Nadals. Oh, Zan. He's shouting the bar tonight for that, folks. He'll be across the road in the old horseshoe. Party at Zandy's place. On the journey home, now he goes. Come on, Neil. Here we go, buddy. It's going to be close. Oh, here we go. There's going to be nothing in it. We won't tell them. Well, there we. Keep it. All right. Neil will let you down, Neil Wyeth. Then Gerald Spain. Then Zandy Wallace, ladies and gentlemen. On a serious note, the first, and this is what this is about, sorry, just to tone it down a wee bit. The first team is actually their charity's the word, goes to Parkinson's. And this team you just see here, their winnings will go to the Neurological Foundation. I was worried I wasn't going to get that right, but I did, so I'm rapt about that. Rightio. That leaves us, the team that won last night, okay? 2019 winners, the Red Star Squash Club. Their charity is St John's in Masterton, okay? And they are Maybe they're as famous as Andy. I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. Well, here we go. The shearers, Peter Clendon. Close. Xander, you're still winning, mate. And the peddler man on the bike will be Jeff Wolford. Oh, not too bad. The MC will be Gerald Spain. No, sorry. Bugger. It's not working. Right, last and final heat. This is literally it tonight, so don't hold back now. You've got a minute 10-ish, okay? That's where there's actually, how many seconds apart is there on those two teams? Was it just 2 or 3? 3 seconds in between the last two teams. So that's how it rolls. So yeah, we've got a minute 10 to yell and stomp your feet and clap and whistle and all the likes. And then we are wrapped, okay, until tomorrow morning and then tomorrow night. So let loose. Let the tui do its thing. Timekeepers, on your marks, get set, go. 1 minute, I said, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's go. Come on, you know these people. Peter Clendon. He says, these boys, they pumped it out in 1 minute last night. If they do the same here, it's looking good for the top dollar. Jeff Wolford, he owns the BK Chardonnay Motel. And he's a plumber too. Up and round the back of the head he goes. He's got the ribbon from last night stuck up in the office of the motel, showing off the Golden Shears ribbon. Doesn't matter how you, well, not how you get it. Doesn't matter what event you get it in. It's important, okay? Here we go. Oh, it's a beautiful, clean job. Peter Clendon, of course, a really top open shearer. Been shearing in the open here for about 30-something years straight. He can mouse it out, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, can Jeff Wolford keep the juice up? He's starting to run out. He's getting into the reserve tank. He hasn't recovered from last night, ladies and gentlemen. Here he goes. The turbo started. The turbo is into gear and we've got him. Keep going. Leslie Mowat set a standard. How do we go, bud? Oh, that's 2 seconds between 3 teams. 3 seconds between 3 teams, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1 was a race horse, 2-2 was 1-2, 1-1 race 2-2, 1-1-2. Right, Wool away. Wow. We'll find that out. Kieran McNulty will be up here soon to give you an instant prize giving on who won, where all their money goes and the likes. Thanks for being a great crowd, Masterton. Hope you've enjoyed the night. Look forward to seeing you here during the day tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you here tomorrow night. Brilliant. Enjoy. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. I was buggered watching it, to be honest. I don't know how they did it. But if I could just get the competitors to come up onto the board here, we've got an instant presentation for this last event. And while we tally up the scores, of course, this event was sponsored by the Wairarapa Times Age, who regretfully apologise for not being able to have a representative here tonight. However, we do have the president of the Golden Shears, Sam Saunders.
Welcome to the Shears. Welcome to the Shears, everybody. I hope everybody's had a terrific night. We've seen a lot of exciting events going on this evening, and we'll have even more so tomorrow. I'd like to thank all these guys for patiently over the last 2 or 3 years being involved with the cycle challenge, and it looks like it's harder to ride the bike than it does to shear the sheep. But I think everyone seemed to have had a very good night. It's nice to see the stadium was full early on. It's been a long time since we've had a Friday night so full. Yeah, Kieran.
Good on you, Sam. Now, we're still waiting for the results to come, so as you may know, this is for charity. So we may as well go along the teams and actually just give us a brief description of the charity you've chosen and why. And it's a good message to get out there, and hopefully by the time you're finished, we've got the results.
We're cycling Wairarapa, cycling Masterton. We're supporting Parkinson's.
Oh, that's fantastic. Good on you. And of course, I know one of your stalwarts is deeply involved in Parkinson's Wairarapa, so that's fantastic. Good on you. And how about yourself?
Oh, good. Hey, we sent St John's Masterton just after last year's getting cancelled with Pete's uncle collapsing on stage. So we thought that's where it all starts with a lot of these people, paramedics and things like that. So they're our sponsorship for this year.
Oh, that's fantastic. Good on you. And yourself?
The Neurological Foundation, it was just a... Is that right?
Yeah, it is. And it's motor neuron disease in particular.
Oh, fantastic. Is there a particular connection between yourselves and that charity at all?
Yeah, some family.
Well, good on you. It's wonderful to be able to use an event like the Golden Shears to be able to support such a cause. Peter, are they the results? Fantastic.
That's 117. That's 110.
Rightio, ladies and gentlemen. We have the results. There isn't much separating the teams. But first, receiving an MKM Tasman vest for each team member, plus $350 to their chosen charity, Neil Wyeth and Zandy Wallace. We may as well have a word since you've taken this event out, and it's taken a number of years to get here. And I think it's fair to say, after the first team, which were in their cycling gear, and you rocked on up here in your shorts and your sneakers and singlet, people thought, what's this bloke going to do? And then you went for it, and now you've won. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Pass it over to Neil. I can hardly talk. I'm a bit buggered. Yeah. I didn't run in the first race, but got the honour to come up today and do it with Neil again. So cheers, Neil, for having me. And I guess thanks to the Times Age for putting the money towards a good charity. Yeah.
Good on you. Rodeo, second prize, an MKM Tasman vest for each team member, and $250 for their chosen charity. The Red Star Squash Club, Peter Clendon and Jeff Wolford. And you saw how hard they work, so put your hands together. Third place, $200 for their chosen charity, Phil Sutherland and Leslie Moitz. So just as we finish the photos there, what we're going to do is we're just finishing off tallying up the results of the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling test. As soon as we get them, we'll be presenting those prizes. We'll hand you over to the Noodles. Like I say, as soon as we get the bike off the stage and we have those results, we'll get them through to you. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big hand for the Noodles? Thank you very much. It is now time to make the presentation for the CP Wool Trans-Tasman wool handling test. Could we please have the teams and managers up on the board? And I'd also like to invite Brent Dawson, General Manager of CP Wool, also up to the board.
Hey guys, great to be up here on behalf of CP Wool, and our shareholders, Carfields and Primary Wool Co-op. It's been my first Golden Shears and it's an impressive event. So I must admit the athleticism and just the sheer competition has been really, really great. So well done to all the competitors and all the people who arranged the event. So fantastic.
The winner of the CP Wool Trans-Tasman wool handling test receives $1,400 plus the trophy. And there isn't that much in it. I asked you at the start of the night who you thought was going to win. You've seen it now. Will it be New Zealand? Or will it be Australia? With 356.9 points. It's New Zealand! Congratulations, Joel and Cherie. You've done your country proud tonight, yet again on the stage here in Masterton.
Cheers. I'd just like to thank CP Wools sponsoring this event. Jack, that was an awesome final, another test. And to our mates from across the ditch, you hammered us in Aussie, so we're glad to get one back. Round yous. It's been my last Trans-Tasman here. I won't be in any more Trans-Tasman tests, but I'll be around to watch. And yeah, thanks. On behalf of me and Cherie, cheers.
Well done to Joel and Cherie. And on behalf of the Golden Shears, Joel, we want to thank you for your many contributions for your country here at the Golden Shears and wish you well in your retirement. It's not an easy ask to come all the way over there and compete against the strong New Zealand crowd, so put your hands together for Australia! Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank our sponsors yet again, who without their support we wouldn't be able to put this night on. Our distinguished guests, the President of the Golden Shears, Sam Saunders, Mecca Whaitiri MP, Barbara Kuriga MP, who is also here tonight, and Sir David Fagan. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance tonight. That does conclude this evening. Please travel home safe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow to conclude the 2019 Golden Shears.